A while ago, I was testing out an English Voicebank I made, and I was quite proud of it at the time. Before I eventually see issues in the Voicebank, such as the lack of standalone vowel sounds for extending notes, and unstable low pitch, which is quite robotic and difficult to work with. I eventually found the prefix map wasn't configured, so if 14 people download Kari's original English Voicebank, I apologize for that. As far as the issues with this new Voicebank, I didn't fully decide to fix and make a new English Voicebank for Kari until a couple months ago when I began work on Kari BLACK ROSE, which had the most pitches out of any English Voicebank when I started working on Kari BLACK ROSE. I first decided to make the process easier by using Star, which I'd never used for Kari's English Voicebanks before, admittedly making the process more difficult. I'm not exactly sure how, but also made the quality of my audio worse as well, making it sound more muffled than when I use Star to record. I also searched for a more efficient rec list for English at first, other than VCCV, leading me to find MEL English rec list. Over the course of a few months, I had my own extras to the rec list, such as sounds allowing Kari to be used with the English example phonomizer in UTAU, and the sound in better, allowing Kari to be easier to use and sound more natural, allowing the Voicebank to be easier to record in alto. This also solved previous issues with other English rec lists I found, such as butter would often be pronounced as butcher, and would also be pronounced as and. The process of making this Voicebank was also easier, as I took a couple pitches from my old English Voicebank, made 2 functional pitches in it, and I also repurposed the lower quality low pitch of the Voicebank as a corrupted pitch, in case anyone wanted to use it. Recording the Voicebank was relatively easy, albeit slightly inefficient, considering that the extras I included with the MEL English were unorganized, leading me to improvise as I was recording, and not follow some recordings exactly. That the rec list with extras was sorted in online pitch detectors and referenced previous recordings to get a more accurate idea of what pitch to record at, which helped, but ultimately didn't prevent me from going off pitch or even in tone in some recordings, pitch as I normally would, with the exception of renaming some files that didn't have the same name as the recordings, which was a mistake on my part because of me not knowing that audio comments worked in Star, program I used to record. On one pitch, G2, I even had to rename and combine whole recordings because I accidentally used older bass alto for an older version of the customized MEL English rec list I made. Other than that, altoing was quite simple, with it typically only requiring me to drag pre-utterance after the consonant and make occasional changes when the recordings were shorter than necessary. The only exception was the vocal fry append, where I had to adjust the offset and fixed region of each sample meticulously to prevent vocal fry from being stretched or cut off. Even if I adjusted the parameters on some pitches more than others, most of them took only around a couple days or less to complete, except for the vocal fry append, even when I was busy or procrastinating on this project. Most pitches didn't require any prior training or unique knowledge, as I knew to record most of them, except for one pitch that was left on my list, Screamo. I postponed this pitch until the very end of my Voicebank, and even contemplated removing it entirely from it, because I was concerned it would damage my voice. However, by searching tutorials online for how to scream safely, and vocal warm-ups for screaming, I was able to record the Screamo pitch relatively quickly, and with low vocal strain. While recording this pitch, Andy C6 tutorial on fry screaming helped me with this pitch, as well as Melissa Cross's warm-ups in the Zen of Screaming, which made me realize I should have warmed up my voice before recording the more powerful pitches of this Voicebank, where you can hear some minor strain in my voice in them. As I altered all of the pitches, I was almost finished with this Voicebank, except for one last step, which is to configure the prefix map. This step only took me around a minute or 2 of my referencing the list of pitches I recorded and adding each pitch to the prefix map. I also added a couple useful sounds to an omake folder, including breaths, a laughing sound, and the sound. Can't be replicated easily in UTAU. Overall, I enjoyed working on Kari BLACK ROSE And despite being twice as many pitches long and using a rec list that was slightly larger than Slim Wasteland's efficient CVCV rec list, the rec list I used for Kari's VCV Plus voice bank, it felt easier to record, and the 2 months I spent working on this voice bank felt like they went by quite quickly. I'm proud of the end result of my voice bank, and I hope to have it remain as Kari's main English voice bank for the time being, considering how long it took to record, as well as the vast amount of pitches it includes, with more pens and pitches than I'll probably use in the covers I make with them. I believe this will be Kari's last voice bank for the foreseeable future, considering I don't have any issues with its quality, but this might change if I choose to make voice banks with different vocal tones or in different languages. I believe this voice bank, although incredibly large, both in terms of file size and the amount of features it includes, was definitely worth creating, and it sounds more dynamic and generally works vastly better than Kari's previous English voice bank. Thank you for watching this video, and if you'd like to hear what Kari's Black Rose voice bank sound like, I provide a demo reel of his voice bank in the description below.